Today I'm gonna show you a basics of grid trading. I'll start with very at the very beginning. So if you have a general idea of what grid bot or grid algo does, you probably might skip this. But if you're just beginning your journey in their automated or algo trading or trading bots, they're commonly referred in crypto, then it's the right place. So I'm gonna show you and illustrate with our GoodCrypto app, with our trading terminal, what are the basics of grids, what do they do, and how they function at a very basic and simple level. To do that, I'm gonna go in GoodCrypto app to the Trade tab, or it might be called Exchanges on some operating systems. I'm gonna exemplify this on FTX exchange and BTC.USDT perpetual swap, but that doesn't really matter. That's not what we're focused right now. We'll just use this as illustrative purposes. Grids work pretty much in the same way, whether on at least on GoodCrypto app, our grids work in the same way on all the 35 exchanges that we support, and basically, the basic idea, basic principles are absolutely the same, both for spot trading and derivative trading. So what I'm going to show you now is applicable wherever and whichever instrument you are trading, spot or derivative, or whichever of the 45 exchanges in the GoodCrypto, supported by the GoodCrypto app you are using. Okay, so now we're in the trade screen. Let's go to the Algo tab here. Here we are. We have several algos, but the grid algo is chosen already. And is with anything to get to the basics, you first start with the simplest, the most core way of doing things. So with grid trading, that would be to choose just two grid levels, and let's see what that does. So we're looking at the 15-second candles. I'll move the grids closer to the price so that the candles would stay, more visible. Okay, so look, that's a basic grid setup. It's a grid of two orders, just two. Grids are always run with limit orders, so whenever you launch it, this grid in particular will create or will keep a grid of two limit orders. One buy order, denoted here by the green line. Obviously, the buy order is below the current market price, which is logical. And then there will be a sell order which is above the market price at the moment, right? Which is logical. So the way grids work, if I set up a grid of two levels, right, the levels will stay always the same. So what the grid will do, it will basically, if there are only two orders or two grid levels chosen, it will put an order just on the one of those grid levels. So it will always skip the grid level which is closest to the market price at the moment when you send the order, but don't focus on that. That's not really important at the moment, and it's a minor issue. Why is that? It will be clear for the down the road, but that's not the key. That's not the important part to focus on. As you can see now, the market price moved up, or moved higher, and the highest grid level became closer to the market price. Hence, basically the lines are now different, showing that if I send this grid, launch this grid now, the actual order which will be sent to the exchange will be actually the buy order here, and this one will stay dormant, so to say. So anyway, let's pretend that we were setting up this grid with two orders, right? Grids are always sending limit orders, and grids are always sending orders of the same size. So whatever order size I choose here, for example, I've chosen wherever that is, 0.0001 BTC. So it will send limit buy and sell orders of this size always, right? So that's something constant that will never change throughout the grid's entire life cycle. So what it will do, so it will send, in this case, it will, if you launch it, it will put a cell. Okay, let me maybe, okay, just a sec, I'll just move here so it will stay in the same way. So uh, it will send, if I set up my grid like this, it will, and I hit launch here, it will send and put on the exchange a buy limit order of this size at this level, right here. That's where I put it. And it will stay this way until the market price goes down enough and hit this buy order. Once the buy order executes, so you are entered the position or bought BTC at this price, $29,120, it will automatically put an opposite sell limit sell order at this level here. And again, it will stay dormant unless the market price then recovers and goes up enough and hits this level. Then basically what this grid will, the limit order executes, and you basically completed first life cycle of the grid algo. So you've bought here with the limit order this amount, and you sold it here with this amount. So once the sell order executes, what will grid do next? You guess it right, it will put another buy order on this level. And again, it will wait until the price goes low enough and this order executes. And when this buy order executes, it will place an opposing sell order here. So the essence of the grid trading is you buy low and sell high, or if you set it up like this and you start it with the first order that was placed on the exchange, in this case will be the sell order, you sell high and buy back lower. Essentially, the price difference between those two levels, right, times the size of the order would be your profit, your P&L, right? So the essence of grid trading is it continuously, actually, I think it's written here, right? The grid allows you to place and maintain automated grid of buy and sell orders, in this case with the same size. In this case, there are two grid orders, one here and one here. Once a buy order gets filled, a sell order is placed on the grid level above, and if a sell order executes, a buy order is placed one grid level below. So that's the essence of it. So if the price fluctuates between those two levels, each time the price goes up and back, or falls and goes up again, you are buying something a little lower and selling a little higher, making a small profit. As this grid is automated, it will do it no matter how many times that the price moves up and down. Each time this movement is there, you will profit from it, right? So okay, that's good enough. But what about the risk? Are there any risks? Of course there are. There is no free lunch, as we know. There is no free lunch anywhere for that matter, but in trading in particular, of course there are risks. So the risk is kind of obvious in this case. If you have, so for example, imagine I launched this particular grid setup, which sent, as we can see there, it will send a sell order here. Okay, let me, that'd be easier. If I set it up like this, it will send first the buy order here. So the buy order is placed on the exchange, and then imagine the price goes down. It hits the buy order. You buy. You have a position now, a long position. Basically, you own those bitcoins right here. If this order was hit, and then the price keeps falling down. Of course, you have the risk. You've established a position. You bought Bitcoin here, and the price moves lower. You basically lose money, right? You have negative P&L. Unless the price recovers and moves back up, you'll have the risk of holding this Bitcoin. Of course, with any risks, they can be minimized and mitigated. There is a number of things to do that, from setting up here in advanced settings and stops to minimize or to limit the risk, to basically carefully choosing the way you placed your grids. But that's a topic for an entirely different discussion, and I'll probably record a separate video for that. But just know that with any trading tool, with an opportunity comes the risk. So there is an opportunity to continuously keep making money if the price bounces up and down between those levels. But of course, there is a risk if the price does not keep bouncing and instead goes up or down. You'll be left with you might be left with an open position that will lose money as long as it keeps moving and as it is kept open and the price continues to go in the opposite direction. But okay, so we looked at the basic example of grid trading. Let me again kind of reiterate what it does. It places, if I set up the grid with two levels, I'll basically chosen those levels where there will be a limit order placed, and the order size will be constant. The grid will put here a buy order and here a sell order. So it will once again, if there are only two orders, it will first place only one order here, right? So the on the level which is farther from the actual market price at the time the grid is launched. So this grid will place buy order here. If it executes, it will place an opposing sell order here. If the sell order executes, it will place an opposing buy order, and this will keep doing this indefinitely. But let's maybe not make it more difficult, but just make it more illustrative, because usually that's a bare bones example, right? With two levels. Usually grids are not run with two levels, but rather with much more, anywhere from 2 to 100 and 150 levels. Some instruments, some trading terminals allow 150 levels. That's a different topic of different discussion, whether you should do that or not, or in which cases you should go for a high number of grids. But that's not the point here. Let's just see what happens if we increase the number of grids. No, the basic principles are kept the same. The grid will keep opening orders, limit orders of their same size on the levels that you've decided. It will place buy orders initially below the market price, sell orders on top of the market price, and if any of that order executes, it will place an opposing order on their grid level above or below. So again, if the buy order here executes, it will place a sell order here on the closest level, and if their sell order here executes, it will place a buy order here. So let's see what happens if we increase the number of grids. So now we have two levels, right? So what the grid will do again, it will place this order and will keep this order idle, this price level idle, unless this executes. If we go for 3 grids, see what happens. A third grid was added here. Now this grid level is closest to the market price, hence this order will be left idle. This grid level will be left empty or idle for the time being when the grid is launched, and 2 orders will be placed. So there are total 3 levels. Always one grid level will be kept empty at all times, and 2 orders will be placed. So both those orders will be placed at this level. So there will be a limit buy order at this level and a limit sell order at this level. This level will stay dormant. What happens then? If the price goes up and hits the sell order, then you will have a position of whatever minus this amount of BTC, and a buy order will be placed here. So the grid will consist of 1 empty level and 2 buy levels if the sell order is hit. If instead, from the very beginning, the grid is launched and the price moves down, then the buy order will be executed. You will have a position of plus this amount of BTC, and a sell order will be placed here. So they will have 2 actual sell orders and 1 buy order. And buy order, no buy order, sorry, buy order was executed. This level becomes idle or empty because the market price is actually close to this level. And on this level, another sell order is placed, and this level is still a sell order sitting there. So let's see what what happens if we add another grid level. Okay, again, pretty much the logic stays the same, right? So this is the level. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 grid levels, as you can see here. One grid level, which is closest to the market price, is kept idle or empty. Above the market price on the grid levels, limit sell orders will be placed, and on the grid level below the market price, a buy order will be placed. Same, it will function again and again, pretty much in the same way it was functioning before. If this buy order executes, there will be placed a sell order here. If in case price increases here and this order executes, this sell order executes, the buy order will be placed here. If price continues to go up from there and hits this sell order, so basically those two sell orders will be executed. They will be replaced by two buy orders. When this order executes, sell order executes, buy order will be placed here. And if the price goes up and this sell order executes after that, there will be another buy order placed here. So the market price will be here. There will be 3 buy orders here. Okay, so that shouldn't be too overwhelming. If it seems overwhelming, go back to the video to the moment where we had 2 grid orders and just go through that. But really there is not. There is a lot of depth of what you can do with those grid levels, but the basic principles are pretty simple. Bear with me anyway. I'll now go for maybe a couple more grids added here, just to illustrate that their logic stays the same and it keeps looking the same and doing the same thing. And then I'll actually launch a grid just to show you live how everything that I'm just describing is happening. Okay, so now we have 4 levels in grid. Let's give it, keep it up and just place 10 grid levels here. Maybe even, move it so they will be symmetric from the, to the symmetrical to the market price. So if you can see here, now we are supposed to have 10 grid levels. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. 10 grid levels. One grid level is empty or will be empty if the grid will be launched. As you can see, that's the grid level that is closest to the market price, and as the market price keeps shifting, that empty level, might jump from here to here. At the time you launch the grid, it will be decided which that very moment, which grid level will be closest to the market price at that moment, and it will be kept empty. And again, above the market price are the sell orders, below the market price are the buy orders. If the price goes here, so to the extreme, if the price goes up and just goes up all the way to here, all those sell orders will execute and will be replaced one by one by buy order on the level below, right? And if their price goes down, all the buy orders will be executed and will be replaced by sell orders. And if the price keeps going, it will probably, as you can see here, right? So what we've been doing, it's been kind of going in between so each time the price goes from one level to another, you're making money, because, for example, it will buy, let's say, here and sell here. If the grid was running and the price was, it was set up like this. So if you can see here, it would have bought here, sold here, bought here. It will sell here, when the price goes up. So that's basically the essence of grid trading. And no matter how many more grid levels, I'm adding here, it will keep doing the same thing. Just the grid tightens, the distance between them, if I keep their highest and lowest grid levels at the constant levels, the distance between them decreases, but it always looks the same and it does the same thing all the time. So what to do with it, how you can profit from it, which instruments you should choose, what situations should you always, how many grid levels, how you should choose, how tight or wide the grid should be, and should you, there is even another level of complication, should you put grid levels above and below market price, or maybe you should just put them under the market price or above the market price. that's a topic for entirely different discussion. There are a lot of interesting things to say about it, and I'm gonna do that in the following videos. But now let's stay with the basic vanilla example of a grid which is placed above and below the market price. We have, once again, just change the view so we can see better. So okay, so we are setting up a grid of 15 levels. No, let me decrease the number of levels. It's just too tight. You can that's something that will be understood by you, in the following videos. But it's just too tight. It will not make me actually money, because I will lose more on the trading fees than I'm gonna make here. So let me just make it wider a bit. Did we? Yes, I think. Are we now? Okay, we're still. Anyway, I'll just for illustrative purposes, I'll send it maybe tighter, so that I will be losing a little bit with every trade, but actually I'm not, because those are calculated on the nominal trading fees, on trading fees of their basic trading fees, and I have a high tier, so I'll be making a small profit on that. But let's just stay with this. So okay, so now we have 10 grid levels. If I launch this grid, it is supposed to place once again, if there are 10 levels of grid, so 9 orders, one grid level will be kept empty, the one closest to market price, and it place another 10 or another 9 limit orders. Buy orders will be placed below the market price, and the sell orders above. Okay, the price jumped. Maybe I have to readjust. That's, you can see the risk of the grid trading right here. That's exactly what the risk looks like, right? Okay, maybe to capture for sure the grid, let me put here 15 orders. Okay, that's 15 orders now. Okay, let me launch this grid, and we'll see in live how it goes. I mean, I won't be going into all the settings. That's not the point here. I just want to show you how these basic principles of buying and selling and changing the orders look in the real life. Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm back. You can see here the exchange changed. We had some technical difficulties, so I had to pause the video, but I'm back now. Anyways, let's launch a grid on of 5 levels. It's the same instrument, BTC.USDT, is just different exchange, but again, the principles stay the same. Let's just move the grid levels closer to the price, so that we'll actually, we'll see some real trading live here. Okay, that I think should be close enough for us to see some real executions. Okay, is it tight? Oh, actually, I can make it even tighter. There's still room left. Let me go here, maybe here. Okay, 5 grids. One will be empty to buy to sell order, to buy orders to sell orders. Let's see how it goes. So I just launched it. It launched. So as you can see here, I've launched a grid of 5 levels. Each level should have an order of this amount of BTC, the same size. And there are 5 levels: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The level closest to the market price is empty. There are 2 limit sell orders above the grid, and I just want to double check that. And there are 2 limit buy orders below the grid. Let's see, wait and see. So, sorry for that. Okay, that's also bad. So let's wait and see when the price moves up or down and hit one of the levels, what happens. While it stays relatively flat, let's also look what we can see here on the screen. You can see the neutral position. That's some denoting this first empty level that was closest to the market price when the grid launched. That means that when the price is at this level, your grid position will be neutral. As you can see now, it doesn't have a position, zero BTC as a position, because it didn't buy or sell any BTC, right? So the position is neutral, and that's just for you to understand where if the price is here, you will also here have a position of zero BTC. If the price goes up two levels, two sell orders will be executed, replaced by buy orders below. But anyway, you will have a max position of minus 0.02 BTCs. And if it goes down and instead to buy orders execute, you will have a position of plus 0.02 BTC, just max position, just a kind of a visual shortcut for you to understand the level of your exposure if the grid works. Okay, price is getting up, but it doesn't want to hit our grid levels. But let's see. So at any moment in time, I hope there is a small jump and this sell order will actually execute. In general, I'm all for the BTC price going up, but that's that moment when I'm waiting that eagerly. Unfortunately, the market seems to be awfully quiet at this moment because of the week. But let's see, it should jump at some point. So, anyways, as you can see, once again, the grid. Okay, here we go. Yes. Okay, you can see here the price went up, the sell order executed, and it placed a buy order below it. Perfect example, right? So that's what grid does. So it executed this sell order, sold BTC at this price, and put a buy order on this level, which was empty. That's the reason it was empty. So the buy order could be placed here. So now if the price moves down, it will buy back the BTC sold at this level, and it will make a profit. But price keeps going up, and if this sell order will execute, it will again, okay, it executed, it will again be replaced by a buy order on this level here. It opened, here we go, right? So that's the basics of grid trading. So sell orders that were here previously, all of them executed, and this sell order was replaced by a buy order on the level below, and this sell order on this level was replaced by a buy order on the level below. Now we've sold 2 times BTC. We have a position of minus 0.02 BTCs, which is double 2 orders, 2 sell orders now, right? As I told you, here is the max position that shows you that that's exactly the max position that you'll have. Your position won't increase because there are no more orders outside the grid. Now, basically, once the price, or if and once the price falls back down, it will buy back here and here, and basically that will kind of make you profit on the BTC sold here. If it buys back here, it will make a small profit, and if the BTC sold here, if it buys it back here, it will make a small profit again. So again, this is a very, very basic way to understand how the grid algos work. Let me maybe show you one of the grid algos that has been running for quite a while, where there are a lot of executed orders, and you just see what these basic principles that we've just discussed here would lead to or look like in real life if the grid with a sufficiently large range was there for some time. Or maybe perfect, the price went back in the grid range and it hit buy order here, so we got our first P&L. So we sold Bitcoin here and bought it back at the lower price. That's our realized P&L. We've just got it. And as you see, as this buy order was replaced by a sell order here, exactly as I was describing in the beginning of this video. So that's a perfect illustration of how grids work. So we'll profit from this. You'll catching the volatility basically and profit from volatility. If the price moves in some range and you have a grid in that range, it will continuously sell high and buy back low, or or buy low and sell back higher, to basically, make you a small profit on each of those levels. So as I said, let's go now to the to see one of the grids which have been running for quite some time. Maybe, okay, this is the one. I have actually, for this one, have a separate video, and you can look for this pair in the search. There is a video on the detailed video on this one. So that has been running for quite a while. It's been running for a day and 14 hours now. As you can see, it closed over 500 orders. And let's just see how it looks on the chart. These are 15-second candles. That's why I don't see much here. But let's zoom out. Let's say 1 hour candles. Those are 2 days on screen. As you can see, those are the worries that it was executing. There is actually, you can see 2, 3, or 4. That means that at this candle are like 4 orders executed here, because the candles are quite large. The 1 hour, maybe let's go for 5 minutes. No, still too much. 50 minutes. And scroll back. Yeah, the grid stayed under the range for quite a while, but here it was in the range. And maybe if we zoom this to, okay, let's go to 5-minute candles and go back to find where the grid was actually trading. Okay, that's what happens when the grid is in range and the volatility is good and the price keeps up and down, moving up and down. Just look at that. So each green point represents a buy order, and each red point represents a sell order. As you can see, the grid continuously, basically, buys lower and sells higher. Buys lower and sells higher, and it follows basically, obviously the market price, and you can see that all the time. It's just, imagine just you either had those funds sitting idle in your on your wallet, or they could have worked for you here, basically, executing small grid trades and making your small P&L on with each of those grids. Just an illustration of what that can do, just kind of just a teaser, so to say. That grid made in those 1 day and a half made to 25% of P&L to the total funds locked in that grid, but that is a grid that is traded with leverage. So in fact, the leverage is 20x. So you have to multiply that percentage by 20 to understand my real P&L, my unlevered P&L to the funds that I actually locked. So I locked here around 100 USDT, and I made 45 USDT on those 100. So as you can see, that's 45% in a day and 14 hours, and it keeps working. So it's still in range, right? It keeps running. It's been out of the range. It's back in range now. Let's see what's going on in 15 seconds candle. So it keeps working, and it keeps making me money. Okay, let me go back to the our grid that we launched just recently. That is 5 levels. As you can see, it's been in and out of the grid level for some time. Now it's outside the grid level, but as you can see, it closed sell order here, sell order here, bought back what he sold here, then sold it again here. Next time the price goes down, it will buy it back. If the price goes to this level, it will become neutral, so it'll have position of 0, so it will buy back all that he sold here and here. Again, the principle stays the same. So once again, to reiterate, Grid Algo, Grid bot keeps a grid order, a grid of limit orders of the same size, places sell orders above the market price, buy orders below the market price, and if any of that orders executes, it replaces it with the opposing order one level below or above, depending whether it is buy or sell. It will, if the buy order executes, it will place a sell order one level above to sell higher what he bought back here. If a sell order executes, it will place a buy order on the level below to buy back what he sold higher. So that's in essence how the grid algos or grid bots work. If something is not clear, still not clear after this video, please let me know in the comments section, and I'll keep making me videos on strategy and how actually to use those grids, how to set them up. I'll go in the next videos, the following videos, I will go over all the statements here, what you should not do, why and when, which pairs to choose, how to place the grids, how tight, how wide, above or below the market price, why, all the pros and cons, and there will be separate videos on the risk management. So please subscribe and follow us, and kind of I hope you will be eager to try that tool, which can be really a powerful trading tool in your hands. You can try it in our GoodCrypto app. It's part of our Pro package, but even if you don't have a Pro subscription or you are not a Pro subscriber yet, and I hope you will become one, we have a 14 days free trial where you can play with those instruments for 14 days completely free. And besides, we routinely run some kind of promotions where we would make pro trading tools available without even without the pro subscriptions on one or several exchanges. For example, at the moment I'm recording this video, we are running this promotion on Mandala exchange and OKX exchange. So to trade, with grid, for example, to launch a grid on OKX or Mandala exchange through GoodCrypto. Here is OKX, right? And then there is Mandala exchange. You actually don't need. Where's the Mandala? I don't have it here. Okay, there is a Mandala exchange somewhere. Okay, that's Mandala exchange. So to trade those exchanges right now, you don't need a pro subscription to try Grid Algos. And those promotions are run routinely. So if you're watching this video not in the late May of 2022, but a bit later than that, just go to our Telegram chat and ask whether we are running that promotion on any of the other exchanges. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, like and subscribe, and bring your questions and suggestions in the comments section below this video. Thank you.